The widow of a man killed in an apparent murder-suicide in Colorado Springs, questioning the law enforcement response to her husband's call for help. Qualin Campbell killed last Friday in the parking lot of a Taco Bell on South Nevada. News 5's Andy Cohen at that news conference this morning, held by the family and an attorney. Andy's in studio with the latest. Andy?
Rob, Tali'Ja Campbell says that she called 911 an hour before the police arrived at that Wendy's Taco Bell parking lot last week to report that her husband was being held hostage. She says that she was the one who found her husband's body and attempted to perform CPR before any emergency vehicles arrived.
Qualin Campbell was at work last Friday when he sent his wife a text message of a photo of an unknown man.
Following the picture were the words, 911, please send help.
She called 911 and said her husband was being held hostage.
I gave them the exact address because he was able to provide me the location. I gave them the description of the man because I can clearly see it in the picture.
Tali'Ja says she grew frustrated with the lack of urgency that she sensed on the other end of the line. So she drove 40 minutes to the location Qualin gave her. She saw his car and immediately jumped out and ran to him.
What I could see through the windshield was that he was slumped over. So I fell to my knees and I started screaming.
She says there were no emergency vehicles at the scene when she arrived. Another man, later identified as David Carrolls, was also in the car with a gun in his lap. She said people were afraid to help, so she opened the car door to check on Qualin.
And I put my fingers on his neck. I couldn't feel anything. I put my fingers on his wrist. I still couldn't feel anything. So my uncle was the only one that was big enough to help pull him out of the car in a pool of blood. It was me that had to try to perform CPR on my husband in a pool of blood.
No one should call law enforcement a hostage situation and it take over a damn hour to respond.
Attorney Harry Daniels is representing the family. They filed an open records request with the city Wednesday.
We want to know how many officers was available, how many officers was working that day, what calls took precedent. I understand that President Biden was here there before and provided protection. I'm sure they had a mass response to make sure he was protected, which we understand. But Qualin life matters also.
They've also requested the 911 calls Tali'Ja made and plan to release them to the public.
We're going to seek every legal justice for this family. If that means filing a lawsuit, invoking the Department of Justice or the outside agency to do an investigation, because currently Colorado Springs Police Department is investigating themselves. I don't trust folks investigating themselves.
Qualin and Tali'Ja Campbell had moved to Colorado Springs from Georgia last summer. The two have two daughters, ages 4 and 14. We did receive a statement from the Colorado Springs Police Department today following that news conference. They expressed their condolences to the family and said their top priority is to provide them with answers. They add, quote, "It is our duty to provide the victim's family with support and share the details of what we have learned with them before making any public announcement." Diane?
Andy, thank you. Tonight, we are also hearing from Mayor Yemi Mobolade on this matter. He released a statement calling the death a devastating tragedy for our community. He added, quote, "It is critical that the Colorado Springs Police Department take the proper time to fully investigate this homicide to provide accurate answers to Qualin's family and the public."